Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
I want to shout out again to Sonia, who emailed the show today at murphysamandjodi.com. And she said, hey, that she wanted to get in on, ways to connect with your child. We've talked about that a lot with back to school. It becomes the busiest time of the year. We're about to enter the busiest 3-4 months of the year, into the
holidays,
fun season. And the kids are in school and their lives are getting busy with the extracurricular, and you just once you're on that hamster wheel,
which makes your life busier because you've got your routine and their routine. Yeah.
So we had touched on how to connect with your child, little ways to connect with your child every day, even though your schedule may not seem to allow it. Mm-hmm. And she had written in that she was a pediatric sleep specialist and has recommended to her clients for years, her families, to lie down with your child at night, just like you would whatever your bed. It's about the bedtime routine, really. Mm. And man, shout out for this advice. And if you didn't hear it, I'll rephrase it quickly. Lie down with them and let them talk about anything they want to, just for 5-10 minutes. And in the quiet, in a darkish room. It doesn't have to be pitch black if your child needs a nightlight or whatever. But
it's easy if you're already tucking them in or you're saying prayers or whatever it is that you're doing as part of the bedtime routine. It's easy to add a few minutes to it.
Oh my gosh, lying down with your child. How many times did I fall asleep with them?
I did too. I would fall asleep.
We used to do
constantly. Yeah, it's like
I hit the floor one time because Phoebe, I'd fallen asleep. And Phoebe had, a single bed. Yeah. And I had fallen asleep. And boom, I was like, oh, wake up an hour later on the floor.
I used to lay between the kids on the wall so I wouldn't fall out.
Nice.
But I'd be laying there and we're talking and everything. And all of a sudden I hear, Dad, wake up. What?
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Anyway, it's just such a beautiful idea. I thank you for sending that in because we want to talk about these sort of things and pass these things on to families. And she had said in the email, in the message, that a lot of children, and boy, is this true, will say things to you lying down in a safe environment and safe space that they would not maybe tell you face to face at the dinner table with a sibling there, or just in the light of day. Hey, someone's picking on me at school, or hey, this is making me feel uncomfortable, or, whatever it is they need to say to you. And I thought that's so, so beautiful and so true. They say the same is true for being in a car with a child, Yeah. Put them in the passenger seat, or even if they're in the back seat, you're not having to face each other to talk about things.
Teen talk, that works well too in that case.
It really, as long as you're the one driving. Don't have a big major, discussion with them where they're also learning the road. But that was beautiful too. And it reminded me of something that I did for a short period of time with our girls, Murphy. I had seen it on Pinterest. They were both little. I say Pinterest. I had seen it online. And remember that I had those notebooks? Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah. You would write, and then you would slip it under their pillow, and then they would write, and they would slip it under your pillow.
I still have them. I have, and they're half full, because I would write to Taylor, and she would write back. And then, when I had time, I'd write. It wasn't every day. It wasn't a thing where it became like you had to do it. Mm-hmm. A week would go by before, hey, I'm sorry, I haven't written you in a while. How are things going? I love you so much, whatever. And they really loved it, and I still have them, and it kills me that there are empty pages in the back. Mm-hmm. I'm literally thinking about slipping them to them now. But I remember a friend of mine who used to come over to the house. I used to work out with her for a short period of time. She would come to the house, and we'd work out together. I'm talking about Murphy. And I told her about that, or she saw it lying there, because it's one of those notebooks. What do you call those notebooks that...
Black
composition
and white.
notebook.
Composition.
Yeah, with
right,
the spiral.
Black and white. It didn't have the spiral, actually. It's a soft.
Oh, the bound one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we bought for that. And she said something about the notebook, and I explained to her what it was, and she stopped what she was doing, and she was like, that would have made a world of difference in my childhood. If I knew I had that outlet with my parent to write something down, and then for them to write back to me. Even short little paragraphs. When I tell you, sometimes it was 3 lines from the girls. And she was just so, and, told me that would have made a huge difference, because she did not feel that she had that sort of open lane when she was a child with her parent, even if it was in that form, like writing.
In any form, basically.
Or like what Sonia was suggesting, lying down and just, kids need to know that with the busyness of life, that they have a safe space with you emotionally, that they have an open lane with you all the time emotionally.
Yeah.
They really need that. And so however you go about getting it, whether it's a notebook or whether it's a car ride or the lie down at night and let them talk about anything. Sometimes it'll be silly stuff. It'll be like, hey, I want this pair of jeans. Or sometimes it might be something serious, like a teacher that I'm concerned about.
That always reminds me of what my grandmother Heidi would say about that when, because I was a little bit nervous about being a dad the first time before you and I had Taylor. And, and you probably remember this, Jodi, her advice was, that don't stress out about being a parent. They only need really two things, your love and your attention. And outside of that, you're going to accomplish 85-90% of the, of what, and so what you're talking about plays into that.
Attention, your time. I think they need to really know they're accepted the way that they are too. But that's that's going deeper. But your attention, your time is the most important, because if you are too busy to give your child the attention that they need, you are telling them something. You're telling them that you're too busy for them.
Yes,
and that's a story. Yeah, that becomes their story.
Tough for a lot of parents who have to work. Some parents work 2 jobs and those kinds of things. It's not always easy, to do.
No, that's why parenting guilt is a very real thing too.
Right.
And a lot of times your guilt is not as warranted as you think it is. Maybe you are, if you're giving your child little bits of attention, it's still attention. And believe me, it still matters to them. It weighs, it matters.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
So Sonia, thank you for sending that in. We love to talk about ways to connect with your child, because childhood is a short season.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.